What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is gonna be a quick drop. I'm not gonna do a play-by-play, but this is gonna be Remy Ma and Papoose, their little show. So season 1, episode 1. Now, what I'm not really clear on is this like a full-on spinoff, or is this just like for the baby, and it's gonna be just like a one and done, like a one season situation following them having their baby and going through the ups and downs of moving and all the things that they're gonna be going through with this new baby. Either way, I'm here for it because I love me some Remy Ma. I have grown and fallen in love with Mr. Papoose. Um, and I love their love. Like, I love and I love their love because it's so real and it's so genuine. Let me tell you something. And I've said this in another review. I think I don't remember what it was for, but I just remember saying this before. We always give, especially women, flack for staying with a man after he done been to jail, right? She's so stupid. He is in jail. Why she sticking by him? Why she going up there to visit? Why she this? Why she that? We give women a lot of flack for that. Now, in this situation, it was reversed. Papoose was in love with his woman. They fell in love before she got in trouble and went to jail. And when I say he stuck by her through thick and thin, in and out, up and down. And and then when people get out, you think, okay, I wanted to last because like I said, I love them, so I wanted to last. But you like, well, it's been 7 years. They don't really know each other anymore. She's been through some stuff. He's been through some stuff. They're different people. 7 years is a long time. Even when you seeing your mate every day, 7 years is a long time. But the fact that we are now 3-4 years later and they are still just as in love. Let me tell you, and I know it ain't perfect. Ain't nothing perfect. No relationship is perfect. But when I tell you that I love their situation, I just love them. So yeah, I'm a review. I can't promise it's going to be a play-by-play because, like I said, it ain't going to be the play-by-play. But a couple of things I do want to touch on. So, first of all, if you follow Love and Hip Hop New York, you know that they were trying to have a baby and had a miscarriage. Remy, I don't think Remy was crazy about the idea of having a baby. I think she wanted to have a baby for him. But had he not wanted to have a child, I don't think that she would have been pressed out about it. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I know she's happy that she's pregnant, and I know she loves her child. That's not what I'm saying at all. So I don't want nobody to take it that way. But I'm just saying that I think she could have lived with or without the situation. Like, and I don't know this woman from a hole in the wall, so I could be 100% wrong. But Papoose really, really, really wanted this baby. And because she loves her husband, she did it. You know what I'm saying? She's going to have a baby for her man. And so we see them going to get the sonogram. She doesn't want to know the sex of the baby. He does. So the doctor tells him the sex of the baby. He gonna spit. Now supposedly he gonna keep it to himself. He not. He gonna spill it. He gonna spill it. He can't. It's burning him up now. Not telling nobody. It is burning him up. He done already slipped up and said he. And then somebody was like, "Oh, so it's a boy." He was like, "Well, no. That's just the pronoun you always use." Which generally speaking it is, but still, I'm just like, I would have believed that had you not known the sex of the baby. But because you know the sex of the baby, I'm just a little curious. So they talk about their IVF situation because after the miscarriage, basically the doctors told her, you know, barring a miracle from God, because we know he can do all things. I know women who've been told they couldn't have a baby and popped up pregnant. So we know it can happen. However, barring something like that happening, she basically wasn't going to be able to carry a baby full term. So, or get, not even for carry a baby, but to conceive. So they decided to go the IVF route, which I have friends who've done IVF. IVF is very expensive. IVF is a lot on the woman. There's a lot of medicine involved. They have to do shots every day, and then you have to, you got to have sex at the right time, at the right temperature. And it takes a lot of the romance out of it. I mean, at the end of the day, you want a child, so that part is still romantic. But it takes a lot of the romance and spontaneity out of just sex. Because it's like, whoo, well, for the next 3 days, that's it, boo. Let's get it in. And like I said, and it is very expensive. And if it doesn't work, then you have to go through it all over again. There's food you can't eat. There's the woman is on, a strict diet, and of course The diet varies. I know for my situation, one of my friends who did it, she was a very health conscious person anyway, so she became even more so because she really took heed to everything the doctor said she should and shouldn't be doing. Which I'm not saying she should have done, but I'm just saying that she became even more health conscious. So I can't say that the diet comes from the doctor so much as maybe they make suggestions, and my friend just took it, to that level. And it worked for them after, I think it took them 3 tries. And it is very expensive. And the insurance doesn't cover everything. Lucky for them, they were able to get, I don't know if I can say what happened because I might be telling too much of their business. But they had a friend who was a doctor who was able to help them in some ways. Not illegal. They didn't do nothing illegal. But just to help them find ways that the average person wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? But it was still very expensive, even with them being able to get some hookups and stuff like that. So I'm sure, even though they have money, I'm sure it was a very expensive process. But lucky for them, they didn't talk about. At least I don't remember them talking about whether it worked or didn't work the first time. But I don't, because they were trying for over a year, so I don't think it worked the first time. So I'm pretty sure it was their second or third time, their second or third try. Now Papoose, he keep calling the baby the golden child. So here's the problem. You already have children. And his daughter says she feels some kind of way about that whole title, the golden child. Now, from where Papoose is coming from, he's saying, look, they told us we wouldn't have kids, and now we're having a baby. So that's why I'm calling the baby the golden child. Not because this child is going to mean anything more to me than my other children. Now, to a certain extent, the love of a child is the love of a child. But because you love the mother, the baby is going to be a little more special to you. I'm not saying you're going to love that baby any more less than your children. I'm just saying that the fact that you are in love with the mother takes it to a different level as well, in my opinion. Again, these are all my opinions. I don't know Remy. I don't know Papoose. Love y'all. Don't know them. My opinions. But they have a blended family. Remy Ma has a son. And Papoose has, I think there are 2 children on the show, but I think he has more than 2, but there are 2 that live with him. But I could be wrong about that. But either way, they have the 3 children live in their house. Now, one of the biggest themes of this episode is that Remy wants them out the house. Now, I don't know how much of this is played up for the purposes of the show and how much of this Remy really want them out the house. But I think it's too much. I think it's too soon. I think that them leaving the house, they're not ready for that. They're not ready to leave the house. Her son is just turning 18. Where he going, Remy? Now, if he were going to college and you were moving him into a dorm, that'd be different. But where he going, Remy? Like, they not ready for that. And the whole thing is talking about how they're spoiled and how basically their whole life they got whatever they wanted because they wanted to give their children what they never had. And so they spoiled them. All the more reason why they not ready to be on their own. You know what I mean? Like, if they grew up getting everything they ever wanted, never having to ask for anything, never having to want for anything, I swear, this is the fly that won't die. I swear it's been the same fly in my house for like a week. Aren't flies supposed to die after like 3 days? Why is this motherfucker still flying around? Anyway. But, she even decorating her son's room for the nursery, telling him that's going to be the nursery's room and that the so-and-so's room is going to be for the nanny. And I'm like, come on, Remy. Like, you're doing too much. I love her, but they're not ready. The baby boy didn't even know you got to buy insurance for a car. He didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I would agree with doing something like this. They have this nice house. They have this beautiful home. They're probably in New Jersey because I'm not going to say that. They have a really nice home somewhere up in the New York, New Jersey area. But I also know they have a house in North Carolina because, she has her store down there. I tried to get up to her store while I was down there this summer. I just ran out of time. I just didn't get up there. But she really wants them to be on their own. I think part of it is she feels they're old enough. I think she really truly feels like they're old enough to be on their own, which technically they are, but they're not ready because they don't know nothing. Now, the daughter is 21. Her son is just turning 18. Now, I don't know what the daughter does, but the son wants to do music and stuff, and I don't know if he's going to. I think she said something about him going to college. And again, if he's going into a dorm, that's one thing. Because she said he graduated from high school early. So, he's not a bad kid. You know what I mean? I would support the idea of y'all getting the two of them an apartment and seeing how that works and help, not paying their rent for them or whatever, but that way you you kind of keeping an eye on them and they're there to keep an eye on each other. And if they fall, y'all are there to catch them, not necessarily take care of them, but just to catch them. Because hell, we all need help sometime. I mean, shit, I didn't move out on my own until after college, and I still needed my, you know what I'm saying? Well, that's not a lie. I moved out on my own during college, but my parents were paying my bills. They were paying my rent till after I graduated from college. Yeah. My mama was like, so you graduated and we gonna need you to go ahead and take over that rent. I was like, damn, I just graduated like a week ago. I didn't got a job yet. Damn. But anyway, I still needed help. Like, I still needed the support of my parents. So the whole episode really was about, to the point where by the time the episode we got to the end, Remy was like, okay, maybe they not ready to be on their own yet, but I want to get them to that point where they're ready. I can agree with that, Remy. I can agree with that. Move them to the point where they're already. Start giving them responsibilities. You have a nice house. Maybe like I said, you can give them an apartment that's not too far away from y'all, and y'all can pay part of their rent and gradually work them into utilities, car insurance, car note. Because again, if these are kids that have had whatever they wanted their whole life, they probably drive nice cars where the insurance is high. They probably got some tickets because they kids, and kids get tickets because that's what the fuck kids do. They're used to being able to go into the mall and buy whatever they want on y'all credit card, or y'all done gave them cash. So there's some realities that they're going to have to face that I don't think it's fair to throw them in the water when y'all haven't prepared them for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so what she ends up doing, her mother, also, real quick, I'm going to get to the last part. But real quick, I just mentioned a few more things here and there. So her mother and Papoose are really close because when she was in jail, they built their own relationship, and they're really close. So she's like, my own mother ain't on my side, because if it's between me and Papoose, she always take his side. So she was like, nobody on my side. I ain't got nobody on my side. And of course, his mother's going to take his side because the mother want them to name the baby after her. Well, technically the grandmother, but she got her grandmother's name, so it would be after her. And Remy was like, no, this is what I'm naming my child. I already got the name for my child. And no. So she was like, I just feel like I'm alone. Like, ain't nobody got my back in this whole situation. Everybody, got everybody else's back. So at the end, her son was turning 18. He wanted to have this big blowout house party hanging from the chandelier. Everybody getting lit, DJ this, and And Remy was like, I don't really want to do that because I feel like, we spent about $20,000 on the daughter's 18th birthday. And yeah, it was a nice party, but when it was all over said and done, that's just what it was. It was one day and it was over. And I don't feel like it was worth, in hindsight, I don't feel like it was worth the money. Like, we wanted to do it. We were still trying to, make up for lost time and everything. And she talked about her and her son having to rebuild their relationship. Because when she went to jail, he was 7, and when she got out of jail, he was 14, and how they had to really rebuild their relationship. So a lot of her wants to do these things for her child because, sorry, y'all, my nephew down there tripping, because she felt like she had to kind of get to him through material things. You know what I'm saying? So she decided she would take the money that she would have spent on a party, or at least a party the caliber of what she threw the daughter, and she's going to give him the cash. And she's going to talk to him about the cash, and she's going to break it down for him, and then she's going to let him make the decision. Now, you could take this money and go have a party. So they decide that they're going to give him the $18,000 and let him decide what he wants to do with it. Do you want to have a blowout party and go all out and blow it? Or do you want to take that money, buy some studio time, go get you an apartment? Because she was like, $18,000, that could pay your rent for a year. And you still have money, well, if you get a roommate or something, that you can go get some studio time and you can still have fun. You can still do some things with it. But she was like, well, she didn't say a year. Did she say 6 months? Anyway, so after they have the conversation, and he listens to what they're saying, because at first he was like, oh, it's about to be lit, But then he was like, you know what? That does make sense. Yeah, that's true. I don't really need to have no big old party like that. Because she had a nice family dinner where she ordered all his favorite foods from the Chinese. I guess he loves Chinese. She ordered all the favorite foods and stuff. Now, I think that's very run house ish, which is cool. You know, because we don't need all the ratchet. We don't need all the fighting. We don't need the bullshit. If it's going to be a nice family show, I'm here for it. I like the first episode. I'll wait and see, how it progresses. If it's going to be, um, if it's going to be too unrealistic. But I love love. I love black love. I love Remy and Pap. And I like the show.